Thank you all for attending, for allowing us to be here with you today. My name is Brian Nobles, as you heard. I am the founder and director of the Disability Express Group. I have with me some of my associates and members of the group from this way down. Go ahead.
Cassie Martz.
Oh, try again.
Cassie Martz.
Emily Walker.
Olivia Steinrock, and this is my emotional support pet, Herbie.
All right. Oh, and one last person. Just introduce yourself.
My name is Sarah Schrafer.
The Disability Express Group is a social and recreational group of teens and adults with disabilities of any type. Many of us, as a result of our disabilities, have been bullied over the years, and we are here today to share some of our experiences surrounding this topic. Bullying is a huge epidemic. Before we begin, this event has another component to it. The annual fundraiser, which takes place at the United Hapkido Martial Arts Studio in Eldersburg. On a date yet to be determined. We are still trying to decide on the date for that. All may participate, disability or not, so long as they have sponsors. Now, without further ado, let us share you our stories. Enjoy. Sorry? Oh yes. You have sheets of questions on it?
Questions and you guys can answer.
I sent you the question.
I know, but can I have yours?
The questions aren't on this sheet.
Where are the questions? Oh, does somebody have questions I can use?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Oops. I'm Brian Spot. Okay, first question. What supports have been put in place to make you more successful?
Having my teachers put instructions into sections during classwork. I get 1 to 3. I get 1, 3. I get 3 questions at once, so I don't get overwhelmed.
I've had many supports over the years, some of which to include speech therapy, and I've been in speech therapy for most of my life. And currently we're working on communication skills. In high school I used a recording pen to take notes in class. It records what the teacher is saying and gives me the ability to take my own time, or my own notes. I had extended time on tests, which means I get double the amount of time on tests to finish it. After I graduated high school, I was involved in different groups to meet friends and do something fun. And Special Olympics basketball every other Saturday. I practice with my team and we play 2 games a month during the basketball season.
Oh, supports. I've had supports such as having techs come over to my house. In school, I didn't go to the same school as here. I went to a special needs school down in Baltimore called Kennedy Creator. And there I received support such as extended time on tests. And as for at home, my techs also help me get out in the community a little more.
Hi. So what supports have been put in place to make me more successful? Kind of like these guys said, accommodations at school, extra test time, teachers slowing things down for me, printouts of what's going on in class for the day, overviews. My next biggest support is right here, sleeping. His name's Herbie. He's 10 years old and he's an emotional support animal. So he gets to come to school with me and follow me wherever I go. And when I get nervous or anxious, I go to my dog. So that's what Herbie does. Also, I have a very supportive family. They've helped me a lot. And another support that I have is this group. Everyone in this group is accepted regardless of their disability, and if they act differently or seem different than anyone else, we're all accepted here. So having this group where we do fun social events has really been helpful.
the support groups that help me get through everything is just be accepted in the dance company that I'm in, Access Dance Company, which are so accepting, and just my counselor that I go see if I just need to talk to her. Out of just everything. And my dogs are just really supportive whenever they see me down or just very anxious or get really emotional. They are always there to help me out. And also this group and everything just been so helpful because I just had it really rough. Because I got seriously harassed by an older guy when I was just 12. And it just really scarred me for life. And the pain that I had to go through, I'm never going to be the same for all that happened.
Okay, next question. What advice would you give to children who want to be more accepting of people with disabilities?
Don't make fun of us when you see us smile. Talk to us. We aren't much different. We want real friends and we want to have fun, just like you.
Don't be afraid to ask questions. If you see somebody sitting alone at lunch or recess, go start a conversation with that person and meet a friend and we'll have someone to talk to.
Oh, what advice? When you look at someone with a disability, how many of their physical attributes are the same as yours? All of them, right? So why make fun of someone who's literally the same as you on the inside? Think about that.
So in today's world, students who are different or have disabilities are often excluded from things. It could be something as simple as saying hi to someone who has a disability that makes them feel more welcome in your social group. Now you guys are all in middle school, and I've been in middle school too. So we all know at lunch, we all have our groups, right? So including someone that isn't normally in your lunch table or your social group, or talking to them at recess, might make them feel really special and accepted. Not staring or making rude comments towards others with disabilities. Don't be afraid of us. You know, we're just like you, like Brian said. We all have eyes, we all have hearts, you know, we're all the same on the inside. So oftentimes you feel isolated and feel like we are different because, you know, people stare or people say things or people make comments about us. So in general, the rule would be treat anyone with a disability as you would like to be treated.
I feel like the people that have to be more accepting is don't just think that they're not okay. Just don't bully them. Don't do anything that's going to affect them because you don't know anyone that just don't know what they can accomplish in life. So, what was it? I'm sorry.
What advice would you give to children to be more accepting?
I feel like what advice they should give, say, go for it. You can do anything, no matter disability or no disability. They're the same as normal human beings. So don't think that they can't do it, because anyone can accomplish anything. They just put their heart and mind to it.
What do you consider to be your greatest accomplishment?
I feel like the most biggest accomplishment that I did is became a black belt in Taekwondo, and my master told me that, Sarah, one day you'll be a black belt, and I didn't listen to him. I just left But when it came to the point where I did it, I just felt so wonderful that I accomplished something huge and just brightened my this life, that everyone was accepted for who they are, didn't reject anyone.
My greatest accomplishment, I have a few, but my first one is finishing my first semester in college. I've been struggling with school since I was about your age. I dropped out of college 4 times, but I finished my first semester and I plan on continuing. The other greatest accomplishment that I want to speak to you guys about is that I'm able to do these talks. For a very long time, I could not even walk into school. I was bullied very badly when I was in middle school. So seeing all your faces, although they're lovely and wonderful, scare me a little bit because it reminds me of what happened to me. People called me names and they were hitting and punching me, and I've been very fearful of coming into a middle school for 5 years. Even seeing a backpack scares me. So this is my 3rd year doing the talks, and I plan on continuing to do them for a very long time. But I just wanted to let you guys know that it's important about how you treat others and how you talk to others now, because a couple years down the road, it could affect them.
Greatest accomplishment. I'd say one would be forming this group. Other accomplishments I have made. I have a job. I have a job physically helping people with developmental disabilities. I work at Change Inc. And I guess one other accomplishment I've made is, I think the biggest accomplishment anyone here can make is just being respectful of everyone you meet. Respect that isn't earned, is a given.
I have too many accomplishments, so it's really hard for me to just pick one. But some of the accomplishments that I'm proud of are graduating high school, getting a driver's license, and getting and keeping a job that I've been at for 2 years.
My greatest accomplishment is when I chose to join the Disability Express group and understanding that I'm not alone. Also, I have learned more about myself and learned to calm myself down.
What are the positive effects of your disability?
My positive effects of my disability is that I just don't really have to worry about what anyone else thinks. If someone gets negative about me, then I just ignore them and just keep doing what I love and just keep persevering forward.
So I have an emotional disability, which makes me feel more deeply. So the positive effects of that are that I care so much for others, and I've learned to care for myself just as much as I do others. I can tell when people are struggling with their emotions more easily and quickly than most, because I know what it's like to have a range of emotions all at once. The other positive effects of my disability are that I can come here to middle schools and talk about what it's like to have a disability and do anti-bullying talks to students just like you.
For those of you who may not have, well, of course you wouldn't have noticed, I have autism. And what that does for me is it inhibits my ability to read social cues occasionally. However, having autism also, I don't beat around the bush with people. I tend to tell them how I feel pretty quickly. And that can be a good thing, especially when you're standing up for yourself.
Some of the positive effects of my disability is that I'm very hardworking. I can be fixed on a task for a long time. I'm very creative and I care about others.
Positive effects for my disability is getting to talk to people that have a disability and being accepted and having a lot of real friends.
In what situations do you feel most comfortable?
I feel most comfortable in situations that there are people that, in situations where people that accept me and for who I am, and doesn't matter if I just get emotional effects or just get depressed. At some points, just being in a group like the Disability Express group and volunteering at the Baltimore County Humane Society for the people that those don't just define who I am or judge a book by its cover. They just accept me and just give me most of the care that I need or the space that I need to succeed in life.
I feel most comfortable when there's not a lot of noise and crowds. So sitting here is very hard because there's a lot of you. But that's okay. It's a good challenge, and I like to challenge myself all the time. I also feel good when I'm surrounded by people who I trust and who love and care about me. Having been bullied, it's very hard to make trusting relationships with people. So these guys are great because they all kind of understand where I'm coming from.
Situations where I feel most comfortable are, as Olivia said, places where there's not a lot of crowds and noise. What also helps is I sometimes wear earbuds or headphones when I'm in those situations that help so they can block out some of the noise from the crowds and such. I also feel comfortable with being around people that I trust.
I feel comfortable in situations where I'm familiar with the people that I know and I'm able to predict the situation.
When I'm around people I know, I feel comfortable talking to them.
Is it better for someone to ask you a question about your disability or ignore it?
Well, on that question, it depends. It depends if they really want to help you or if they just want to make fun of you. So it just goes both ways. You see if they actually really do care about you.
I would love for people to ask me about my disability and what I've been through. It means you're interested and that you care to learn more. We need to educate others about disabilities of all kinds so that we can be included in everything.
I would love for a lot of you to ask about my disability. In fact, when I'm at work, I encourage people to know that I have a disability because it helps them to understand my challenges and what I go through, and it helps them to create a better work environment suited to my needs.
I think it's better for someone to ask me a question about my disability than ignore it. Because if you don't ask your question or questions, you could make an assumption about that person and it may not be accurate.
I think it's better for someone to ask me about my disability instead of ignoring it.
Do you think society's improved in how it treats people with disabilities?
I think society is getting there. There still are rough times where someone can just, like Olivia said, assume someone that they have disability and just make fun of them. Because there's some people out there that have been bullied, and they think it's the best way to relieve that is bully other people. But in reality, that's not the right thing, because the only thing that you're doing is hurting the other person that you don't know what they're going through. But I think that society is getting there, but it still needs a lot of time just to get better.
So I think society has gotten a bit better, but it is not enough. Be kind, be friendly, talk with people who may look or act different. Sit with the kid at the lunch table who is alone. Keep talking to each other so that no one feels out or is bullied by others. You guys are the future, okay? So you need to help make changes so that people like me and people in this group don't get bullied in school and don't get excluded from things.
Society, I think, has gotten better. It's not at its best. There are still people out there who have the wrong point of view on things. They think that we are second-rate citizens. The only advice I can give on that is try to talk to as many people as you can. Make sure that people are educated on disabilities and be kind.
I think society has improved on how it treats people with disabilities. We no longer have mental institutions. We've lessened the use of psychotic drugs to treat behavior and lessened any type of abuse and restraints among the elderly and disabled. I think TV and movies are more accepting on having actors with disabilities, and I think disability activists like Dr. Temple, Granny, Stephen Hawking, Helen Keller, and Nick, I can't say his last name, have helped others on what it's like to have a disability.
Society has improved, but still, people are still making fun of us for no reason.
This is one question I'm gonna weigh in on because these, I call them kids, don't know. We have a car wash twice a year and everybody's invited to the car wash. And we had a car wash one year and a young lady in our group is in a wheelchair and she came to the car wash. And I knew she was coming and I was waiting for her and I thought, what is she gonna do with the car wash? There's nothing for her to do because she's in a wheelchair. These young people were amazing. She arrived and they were like, thank God you're here. You get to be the sign holder. And she stood on the corner and that job was just as important as washing the cars because she was bringing the cars in. So everybody has a job that they're great at. And you just have to find what they're great at. My story, I won't say anymore. How do you define yourself?
I define myself as a person that is just willing to do anything, just succeed in life and just ignore people that just gets in my way.
I define myself as a warrior. I've been through a lot of pain and suffering because of what people in middle school did to me. At times I felt like it would be impossible to go back to school or to hold a job. I also thought of giving up a lot. But I am strong and I believe the reason that I went through these things was that I could talk to students like you. You help change the future so that no student is mistreated because they look or act differently than others.